If I had to start my fitness journey all over again, here's exactly what I would do. I made a lot of mistakes in the past, and these mistakes cost me a lot of time. Hopefully by you watching this video, you're able to avoid the mistakes that I made. In case you don't know me, my name is Antonio, and I used to be a personal trainer who now just became an online fitness coach. And my focus is to help people simplify fitness. My first mistake, and probably the biggest one, was I just kept stopping. I would start working out, go hard for like 2 or 3 months, and then eventually quit. I'd stop going to the gym for 2 to 3 months, and then I would just restart again. And this cycle went on for my first 2 years of my lifting journey, until eventually I quit for good, for another 2 years. Yep, 2 entire years. And what pulled me back? Believe it or not, COVID. I was bored at home, feeling skinny, and I decided, screw it, let's start training again. And there I was, lifting at home, with some dumbbells, doing push-ups, bent over rows in the tables, trying to find a way to work out. And I got lucky, because when I was getting serious again, the gyms reopened. I guess I was at the right place at the right time. But when I look back now, I realize something even more important was missing. And it's probably the reason why I kept falling off. You see, when I started lifting when I was around 17, my goal was to gain confidence. Or in other words, when you're 17, it's to actually get girls. I know. And the problem is, it actually worked. And so I got what I wanted, which is exactly why I stopped. Because once I hit that goal, there was nothing left to push me forward. I thought, well, I got what I wanted, so why would I keep going? Big mistake. If you don't have a deeper why, a reason that actually matters to you, you're not gonna last. Today, my why is completely different. I want to see what my body is truly capable of. I want real strength, real endurance, real mental toughness, to challenge myself both physically and mentally, because I believe that carries over to every part of my life. So yeah, I finally found my reason. But that didn't stop me from screwing up all over again, but this time in a totally different way. Before we get into the next topic, down below there's a link for my newsletter, where I'll give you a free workout plan, free diet sample, plus all the guides you need to avoid the mistakes that I've done for these couple of years. Now, back to the video. When I came back to the gym, for real this time, I made a promise to myself. This time, I'm in it for life. And here we are, 4 years later, still training. So, I guess it worked. But even during those early years, I made another massive mistake. I trained way too much. Like, I was doing everything. Push-pull legs, training 6 days a week, doing workouts with more than 30 sets per muscle group. It was just insane. And guess what? I was following the workout plan of a jacked fitness influencer, who obviously I thought was natural. Plot twist, he wasn't. Shocking, right? I know. What I didn't realize was I wasn't even training properly yet. I was just trying to survive my workouts and not really focusing on progressing. So what finally clicked, what actually changed everything for me, was I dropped volume. Not super low, I just lowered the volume. I started focusing on training harder, lifting heavier, and progressing the weight instead of just adding more sets. Back then, I thought the only way to progress was to do more and more and more, meaning more sets and more repetitions, and not really thinking about increasing the weight. I found my sweet spot. Heavy sets between 4 and 8 repetitions most of the times. Like I said, most of the times, pushing close to failure or to failure, not just because I'm feeling tired or because the muscle is burning. Over time, I realized it's not about who does the most exercises, it's about who trains the hardest. And I definitely wasn't doing that in the beginning. I was busy doing something else, something that wasted a lot of time and made me feel like I was doing more when I really wasn't. Let me tell you what it was and why you need to avoid it. I overcomplicated everything. I used to stress about cable angles, whether this bicep exercise will hit my inner part, my outer part. Is this exercise for shoulders better than the other one? Literally spending more time thinking about the setup than actually training hard. And here's the truth, none of that matters when you're just starting, not even a little. So I stopped chasing perfection and I started chasing something else entirely. And it basically changed how I look at fitness forever. I realized I never really wanted to be a bodybuilder. When I was younger, I actually thought I did. I thought that's what you had to do to be respected. Get massive and make fitness your entire personality. But the truth is, you're either born with genetics to be a bodybuilder or not. And honestly, most people aren't. And that's completely fine. Once I stopped chasing someone else's version of success, I finally figured out what mine looked like. Now I identify myself as a hybrid athlete. I want to be strong. I want to be athletic. I want to be able to run, jump, lift weights, do some hikes, move well, and most importantly, enjoy life. Not just be a huge dude who gets tired walking upstairs. And when I made that shift to hybrid training, I realized there was something missing in my training for the last 4 years. And when I finally added it in, it completely humbled me. That thing was cardio. I didn't do cardio for 4 years. For 4 years straight, I did basically zero cardio. No, basically, I didn't do cardio. If it didn't involve a barbell, I didn't care. The first time I tried to run a 5K, I got absolutely destroyed. I could barely breathe, my legs were dead, and my heart rate was around 180 to 200. I felt like I never trained a day in my life. If you think you're fit because you can deadlift a lot of weight, go try to run a 5K. Trust me, it's a big wake-up call. So I fixed that. But then I had to face something even harder. Something I thought I had figured out from day one. Nutrition. When I started, I was obsessed. If I missed one meal, one scoop of protein, I thought I ruined all my gains. There were nights I would slam a can of tuna and drink milk at 11 p.m. just so I hit my macros. Disgusting, I know. It was miserable. What I learned the hard way? One bad meal doesn't ruin anything. Consistency over months matters, not perfection over one day. Now, I keep it simple. Whole foods, meals I enjoy, rough protein targets, around 40 grams during lunch and dinner, and for the rest of the day, only 50 to 70 grams. Because luckily, I'm kind of light, so I don't need to eat as much protein. If you hate your diet, you won't stick to it. And if you don't enjoy the process, you'll never become the person you're trying to become. The main lessons to take away here. Lesson number 1. Fitness isn't about going hard for a few months. It's about never quitting, even when motivation dies. Lesson 2. If your why is shallow, your commitment will be too. Find the reason that keeps you going, even when things get hard. Lesson number 3. Training harder matters more than training a lot or training longer. Progress beats volume, always. Lesson number 4. Simple plus consistent beats complicated plus inconsistent. Master the basics and train hard. Lesson number 5. Fitness should serve your life, not become your entire identity. Chase your version of success. Lesson number 6. Strength without endurance isn't real fitness. Lesson number 7. The diet you enjoy is the one you'll stick to. Consistency over perfection. At the end of the day, all my mistakes came from trying to chase a life I actually didn't want to live. Trying to impress people I didn't even know. Trying to live up to some image that wasn't even mine. Today, fitness for me is all about freedom. It's about being strong enough to live the life I want. To go on hikes with my girlfriend. To run long distances and not feel as tired as before. To play with possibly my future kids without one day being tired. Because this was one thing that marked me when I was younger. And to feel good every day. That's my why now. And to finish off, check this video out because I think YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy it.